So I get asked a lot, Chris, how do you get to travel to all these amazing places? It must be so expensive. Well, the thing is that I actually often work with companies that pay me to go to these places. So I get to travel to a lot of these spots for free, essentially. I'm working, but I'm doing it for free. But it took a long time to get there. So I'm gonna share with you a story of how I got to this position and how you guys can take the same steps to get there so that you can start traveling for free. Yeah, cue that hip hop intro. Now, a few years back, I went on a family trip to Arizona. And right before that, I had just seen Ben Brown's video about Canada, and I was super jazzed up about making travel content. I thought this would be a great chance to start shooting travel videos. So I brought my camera along and I shot this video in Arizona. And I remember releasing that piece of content and it only got 1,000 views. And at the time I was used to a few more views than that. Oh, check out these pigeons, woo! 1,000 views, that's not that many, but I remember the comment section, there was tons and tons of meaningful comments, and I thought, you know what, this is different than the other pieces of content I've created in the past. I think I want to start making more of this. And that led to my next video when I went to Ireland. I wonder how many people have just tried to do high five to that thing. The next trip was Ireland. I was going with a friend of mine, I was gonna go visit his family, but I thought previous to going on this trip, I would email the Ireland Tourism Board seeing if they could do anything for me. So I sent them my Arizona video. I was like, hey, look at what I've created. I'd like to create something while I'm in Ireland. Is there anything that you guys can do for me? So I got an email back from her and she said, Chris, attached is a letter that has your name signed by the Ireland Tourism Board, and hopefully this will get you support wherever you present it to. So hopefully if you go to some activity, you'll get that activity for free. My friend and I were in Ireland. I presented the little piece of paper when we were at the Guinness factory, and the Guinness factory said, hey, would you like a free tour and also a free Guinness? I remember thinking to myself, there's value in this. People actually want to trade their services for my service. I should start doing more of this, and maybe I can get more than just a free beer. So I finished that Ireland video, released it, and the video got 4,000 views, which was 4 times as many as the Arizona video. So I realized I want to start making more pieces of content, but I didn't have any trips planned in the next month or so, so I thought I'd just make a video about my own country and city. So I shot a video in Toronto. So I called my buddy Kyle up. I said, tomorrow I'm gonna pick you up at 6 in the morning. We're gonna shoot a whole video about Toronto. We're gonna call it Show Me Toronto. He's like, yep, I'm in. When I was walking around shooting this video about Toronto, I had my Ronin, this crazy camera setup. We were down by the harbor front near the water, and this boat captain came up to me and he said, hey man, that's a crazy camera setup you have. Do you wanna come shoot on a boat? I know it sounds weird, this random stranger, you wanna come shoot on a boat? But it's he had a legitimate business. He was just going over the island. Anyways, I was like, sweet, we're getting a free boat ride. So I realized there was, once again, value in this. I was having unique experiences because I was making travel content. So we shot that whole video, edited it, released it. I was like, hopefully this video will get 5,000 views or something like that. Emailed it to 2 Toronto blogs, BlogTO and some other blog, and both blogs shared it. And the video ended up going viral in my city. I got 100,000 views in 2 days, which is mind-blowing. It was the most amount of views I'd ever gotten at that point. And I realized, okay, these travel videos, there's now marketing value to it. It could get shared in press. So why don't we take our chances? Let's book one more trip and see what we can get. So my buddy and I went out to kayak. We looked up the price tag wherever the cheapest flight was from Toronto at that time. I think it was October. I was like, you know what? Let's just book a flight anywhere to Ponta Delgada. So we booked $325 round trip flights to Ponta Delgada, hoping that maybe we'll get something out of it. So I ended up doing a bit more research on Ponta Delgada and realized it was this place called the Azores, which is part of the country of Portugal. So I did some research and found out there was this company called Visit Azores, which is the Azorean Tourism Board. And I was like, hey, we've already booked flights, we're coming at this time. Is there anything you can do for us? P.S. Look, our last video got 100,000 views and it got shared in 2 blogs. So I emailed them, they emailed me back, they said, we're really interested. We can't confirm yet, we gotta talk to the board, but hopefully this will go through. So we kept waiting. So Kyle and I just kept waiting and waiting until the point where we're like, we can't wait any longer. We need to book our own accommodations or we have nowhere to stay at this point. So we booked Airbnbs, activities, all the things for our trip. And then 2 days, literally 2 days before our flight, we get an email from the tourism board saying, your trip's confirmed, here's your new itinerary with hotels, transportation, activities, a whole bunch of different islands, just the craziest trip of a lifetime. So We went on this trip and literally it was the most insane trip of my entire life. I remember sitting on the edge of this spot called Setsidadis on an abandoned hotel looking over at sunset, like literally about to like cry and get like emotional, and I was like, this is real. This is an actual thing that can happen, and this can be a part of my life now. I want this to be a part of my life now. So I'm gonna find a way to incorporate that. I'm gonna start reaching out to more tourism boards and brands and see if I can do this more often. So guys, that's my story. That's how I was able to start getting free trips and then actually start getting paid to go on these trips. Now, it took a long time. It took like 3 to 4 years to actually get to this spot where I'm doing this now and this is a part of my life. But I want to remind you of something. You guys can do this too. You have to just learn the skills along the way. And you don't need like an Instagram following or a Facebook following. Like, I didn't have that when I went into these trips. And I think that's a really important thing to note. I was pretty decent at taking photos, I was pretty good at making videos, and I would just progressively get better and better, and I'd start learning marketing and all these other skill sets until eventually I'm at the spot now where I can kind of combine all that knowledge into one thing, and now this is part of what I do. But you guys can do it too. Those are just skills, it's not talent. You can just learn along the way. So watch videos, try different things. You guys can do it. If you guys like this video, please press like. It actually makes a difference. Subscribe. Would love for you to join along, and we'll catch you next time for some more knowledge and fun and activities and all sorts of other stuff like that. Peace out, everybody. Okay, remember when I was talking about Kyle earlier in the video? This is Kyle. Kyle. That's me. Hi. Kyle is like one of my closest friends from university, and we've done a bunch of trips, and now we're planning the next trip, hopefully, for this year. Kyle, your beard looks nice.
Thank you.
I'm gonna leave. We're gonna eat now. Peace.